Hello, my name is Aneta. I'm the owner of Cross-Stitch Vienna and this is my Flosstube number 8. I am recording this episode on a Friday, not my usual Saturday recording day, because once again I'm working over the entire weekend and I didn't want to do 2 weeks without Flosstube. That seems like bad YouTuber work ethic. So I'm recording this day earlier than usual. It has absolutely no impact on the content of this episode. I'm just letting you know that I'm doing this for you. Today's episode is packed with finishes, updates about the customer's situation on Cross-Stitch Vienna, situation, about the offering, about the functionality of the website for customers. I made it sound like there is some sort of a drama. There isn't any drama. And then I also have some whips and some announcements to make. I made a list like a pro because my memory, it ain't there anymore. So let's jump right in. Let's make haste with this video. The first finish is something I'm extremely proud of because it came out of my brain spontaneously and I didn't know how it's going to look like in the end, but turns out I'm not such an idiot, and the finish looks shockingly, I'm so shocked about it. It looks really nice. So this is my ghost bunting. So the ghost bunting that I talked about in several previous episodes of my Flosstube. These are 4 separate charts that I designed under the common title Mossy Grave. And I just stitched the ghost part because I did 4 seasons of the Mossy Grave design. So we are starting on this side with spring to summer. I'm just trying to figure out what a camera is. I just woke up, so autumn and finally winter. So now this bunting is hanging over my desk because it's just so nice to look at. I know I'm blowing my own trumpet, but who else is going to do it if not me? I'm very proud of how the design came out, how the framing worked, and I put a bundle of these designs, so you can now purchase these 4 charts at a discounted price on my website. And you can also access, if you're a customer, the photo guide of how I created this bunting. And I created a little template for this particular shape, measured for 14 count Ida. So if you wanted to recreate this style, you can. I tried to make the guide as detailed as possible. If there is something missing, do let me know. But I think it's pretty comprehensive and I try to take detailed photos as well. So this is my first finish. The second finish is not really a finish that's recent. It's a recent framing because as I was working on the ghosts, I was in the mood to do more. So this is my Black Widow bakery design, which I released last year, I believe. So I just put it on a cardboard, inserted some foam in between, and then added some colorful ribbons underneath here, you can see, and also on top of the design because there was a lot of white space. I don't know why I framed it like that. And I added some bats from, they are felt bats that I got from Teddy a while ago for some reason. I think I wanted to make brooches with them. I have plenty left, so that might still happen. So that's the second framing that I did. Not a recent finish. I finished this design forever ago when I was releasing the Black Widow bakery. And the last one, which is actually a new pattern that is has not been released on the website yet, so this is more of a teaser. But I finished it this week and I framed it immediately and I wanted to show you. So this is my new chart, Cryptid Canteen, stitched on fabric that I dyed myself. This is Stormy Night, and put in a hoop that I wrapped with fabric, and a guide for how to do it, a photo guide on how to wrap your hoop with fabric. It's also on my website, also accessible to customers only if you wanted to take a look. I wanted to spend some time telling you about this design because this is actually a design that I created based on my school canteen experience. And I obviously made it look creepy, but I was thinking about my school canteen experience and it is a bit weird. It is a bit weird. So if you don't know, because you had not seen my previous videos, I think I talked about it in Flosstube 1. I come from Poland, from the countryside. So the village that I grew up in had, at the time, around 4,000 people. And I lived in the village in the south of Poland, so that technically makes me a mountain girl because it was a valley that the village was based in. I lived there until the age of 19, and then I moved out. I left Poland and never came back really to live there again. I stayed in that village, which did have a primary school, secondary school. So you had kindergarten, primary school, secondary school. It did have high school. So in Polish we call them, the primary school, it's podstawówka. The secondary school is gimnazjum, and the high school is liceum. So it did have these three things, and I was attending the primary and secondary school in the same school. It's the same building, so they had the two grades, two different schools together. It was a village, there wasn't really much choice. At least at the time when I lived there, secondary school was like really problematic. The kids were really unruly. Insane stuff. Yeah, like there was some... just stunning. If I started telling you about my village school experience, I'm laughing about it right now, but it sounds so deranged because at the time, like you need to remember that was more than 15 years ago. Like the Polish countryside was extremely backwards. So we didn't talk about mental health. We didn't talk about the effects of violence. Kids that got involved with the football gangs, because they were gangs, they were hooligans, that was just a fact of life. And it was very easy for kids to take the wrong path. And it was just a messed up environment. Now I think about it, I don't really know why the adults in the scenario saw all of this and then they chose to ignore and treat everything as a fact of life. Back to my delightful school experience. So we had a canteen in the old building in the school. It was kind of like removed from the main building. I think that most of the kids that ate at the canteen, that they were primary school kids. We had short breaks in between classes. The classes were from 8 in the morning till around 2 or 3, if I remember correctly. And the breaks were 15 minutes with the exception of one long break, the long lunch break, which was 45 minutes. So that long lunch break is when you went to the canteen. So you went to the canteen. There were no menus. You didn't know what was going to be served. In Poland, you always have 2 courses for lunch, soup and main course. There was no dessert. Are you crazy? So you didn't know what was going to be served. You rushed at 12. You rushed to the canteen because everyone, I think around 100 kids would be eating at the canteen during the lunch break. So you rushed there. You jump through steps, you rush through the door to be at the front of the queue, and you could tell what was being served by smell. So the closer you got to the canteen, you could kind of identify what could possibly be on the menu. And then depending on your place in the queue, you were either on the lookout, so you were paying attention to what others that were before you were carrying from the from the window and to the tables to eat, and you would identify the food and tell the people at the back, be like, oh, it's this kind of soup, like cauliflower soup or whatever. And sometimes you were still not even sure if that's the correct answer, because some of the stuff, like, it just all looked the same. The food was really good, actually, with some exceptions. The food was homely, home-cooked food at the time. I mean, yeah, they did observe health and safety rules, but it wasn't as strict as it is today. For example, in this design, the skeleton is wearing a hairnet. That was not a thing back then. And also, it's wearing this particular outfit. So now I think they have uniforms, so they have one-color uniforms, but back then you just wore these, they are not aprons. What we call them in Polish are podomkas. So podomka. Myślę, że powinnam pewnego razu zrobić Flosstube'a po polsku, bo wstyd, że nie mam, ale spróbuję to wytłumaczyć. I'm trying to explain it. So podomka is this outfit made of this mesh, stain resistant. It's basically plastic fabric, and my mom and my grandma used to wear them. So the ladies at the canteen were also wearing podomkas. You would arrive at the wooden window. So there was one main entrance, and in my school canteen, there were two rooms where there were tables. There were one room had, I think, two smaller tables. And then one room had this like massive long table. And you sat next to whoever. Sometimes you would be sitting next to teachers, and everyone knew everyone. So the teachers would ask you questions about home and religion. So yeah, that's how it was. And you would come up to these two windows. So they made two holes in the wall, and one was for receiving the food and one was for leaving your plates. So like this little mouth is where you put the plates, the dirty dishes, after you finished. So you were supposed to take your stuff and then bring it back after you finish eating. When you showed up and you queued up and then you got to the window, the lady that would be there would be first serving soup. So unless you already had soup, you had to tell her that now you're just here for the second course. But she would just give you a bowl of soup. And back then there was no intolerances or dietary preferences. Like even if there was someone that could not tolerate certain ingredients, I think that they would just not be sign up for the school canteen anyway, because there was just no customization. Like even if you asked for extra potatoes or sauce, they would be like, not really, you just get what you get. So she would give you soup. By the way, all of the people that work at the canteen were older ladies, always, because they knew how to cook. So that's who they hired. And the food that they served was food that you could make in huge pots in large quantities easily to feed all of these kids. The food that was served, I said it earlier, it was good food. It was what you would get at home. Soup-wise, it was usually some vegetable soup. Sometimes you would get chicken broth. Sometimes you would get cauliflower soup or sour cucumber soup. I don't remember. There was not much variation, to be honest. And the second course, it's where it got interesting. I'm trying to think back because it was, as experiences go, it wasn't that significant for me to remember the details, but I remember that we didn't have, like, you probably know Polish cuisine by pierogi. We didn't have that, because who wants to make pierogi for 100 kids? I wouldn't. I would absolutely quit on the spot. So we didn't have that. I was not picky with food. Like, they would give me food, I would eat the food. I didn't have any preferences, but only one thing that I did not want to eat at the time, because now things changed. One thing that I really didn't like what they served was chicken stomachs stew. It's just the concept of it. I'm a person that always says you should try something once before you criticize it. So today I would probably try it. But back then I was just like, I cannot, just don't give it to me. So on that day when they were serving that, kids would be begging the lady that was serving food not to give them the stew, just give us the potatoes. If you must, give us the sauce that comes with the chicken stomach. But please don't. I remember them always being like really annoyed that kids didn't want to eat what they were making. I'll be annoyed too, because, you know, food is food. You paid for it, you eat it. So that was the only thing that I was a bit miffy about. The other stuff, so on Fridays in Poland we didn't eat meat. I think it was a Christian thing, Catholic thing, that Jesus fasted on Friday. I don't know. I never checked. I never cared. I wasn't very religious. So, I mean, I went to church every Sunday, but I was thinking about the universe during the masses. So they would not serve meat on Fridays. We would get... at home, you would either eat vegetarian or you would have fish. You would never get fish in the school canteen. Too expensive. And also not worthy for all of these kids. So we would normally get... let me proceed my confession with saying that I know the internet is giving Poland a lot of flack for this particular dish, but unless you try it, don't flame it. Like, unless you really go and make it yourself, just go online, find a recipe, make it yourself, and then have an opinion. So we had pasta with strawberry sauce if it was summer. If it wasn't summer, so strawberries were not in season, we would have pasta with baked apples or pasta with quark cheese. So quark cheese is the cheese that you traditionally use to make baked cheesecake in Poland. So they would mix it with some cream to loosen it up and add sugar and serve it on noodles. So actually that wasn't bad. Like, now I couldn't eat it because I'm lactose intolerant, but back then I ate it. It was good. We also had rice with baked apples or rice with strawberry sauce if they were in season. So, so that's what we got on Fridays. We didn't have pancakes or crepes on Fridays. Too much work for all of the kids. It was easy stuff that they could make. So, so that's my school canteen experience. And the chart is inspired by that. And if you want to get it, it will be released to customers only in October. And I posted a preview on the website, and it has the list of the threads that were used for this chart. So if you would like to buy them in advance, you can, because the list is there. So you can kit up before the chart goes on sale. It will be available to customers only for some time, and then it's going to be released to everyone else probably next year. So that's my finishes. Let me check my list. So, current whips. The first one, is the one where I idiotically did not leave enough fabric around. So the Woodcut is currently at 7%. So I was stabbing at it slowly last week. I was really busy last week. I didn't really get to... Well, last week and this week, I didn't really get to stitch a lot. Yeah, so that's the situation. I felt a bit anxious about not having some time to cross stitch, so I'm glad that the busy times will end not next week, the week after. So I will have more time stitching, but this is progressing nicely. 7%, like I said, I'm not doing the full chart, which is 15 something stitches because I messed up the measurement, but I will just do the center figure and turn it into a doll. So you can already probably tell what it's going to be. Oh, by the way, I did post previews of Q4 charts on the website. So if you're a customer, you can actually log in and see mock-ups of this chart that I just showed you, and 3 more Demon Cats charts that I'm going to be releasing. The Q4 charts are very cute, if I may say so myself. They are on the cuter side, but after that we're gonna go a bit darker because autumn and winter make me a bit melancholic. So in autumn I will rewatch the first season of True Detective. I'll go back to all of the horror anthologies that I really like watching. I will read more Dostoevsky. Like, I've already read some Dostoevsky in the summer. I was kind of like priming myself. So now it's going to get a bit darker and existential. So is it Q4 charts? Yes, Q4 charts. So in the first quarter of 2026, it's gonna get a bit darker. But you don't mind. You're here for it. So the second whip that I only have 2 because I did kit up the other 3 charts, Demon Cats charts, but I didn't really have time to work on them. So I am doing the lava lamp, and I am doing it with Wintertagtraum's purples. So they're a little bit messy because I unraveled them, but these are the purples that I got from her the last time I was doing unboxing video on my Instagram. This one I love. This is the lightest one, and it looks so nice on this fabric. Again, this fabric doesn't really look nice on camera because of all of the swirls and also the color, but I will show a picture. I showed a picture of the finish, the Cryptid Canteen finish on this fabric. And so I replaced all of the purples in the design with the variegated thread from Wintertagtraum. I follow the chart, but in the future, if I was to do it again, I still might. I would use the variegated thread just inside the lava lamp part. So I will do the lighter outline, and then I would do the variegated thread in circles because I think that the pattern would be much nicer. I might still try it because I have the threads, I have the fabric, and I'm curious if that would look better. So yeah. So this is... Let me show you how far in I am with this chart. Let me tell you. So I am 40% in, essentially. So I will finish this soon. And I will be able to show you around the next Flosstube. My desk is a mess. Honestly, the living room is a mess because I have to do product shots for myself and also for customers. I have a light box set up on the table. I have the backgrounds lying around. I have the props collecting dust in. It's just a mess. I can't wait for this busyness to end. But anyway, so I have this kitted up. So that's going to be one Demon Cat chart. The second one on my blue fabric that I dyed recently. So that's the Son of the Blue Sky. By the way, Son of the Blue Sky, that's not my invention. That's the title of a song by Wilki Wolves. It's a Polish band. And then the last one I try not to like mess stuff up. Like, let me just hide some of this fabric inside the bag because it looks super messy. I know, I've said it before, I'm a mess. You know what? I had been talking for additional 30 minutes. And then I looked at my screen where the camera app was supposed to run. And turns out it turned itself off. What I was about to show you was the kitted app, the last chart, the upcoming whips that I'm gonna have from the Q4 lineup. I need to check my checklist, which I thought I was done. Right. Updates for Cross-Stitch Vienna. Now there is a new area on the website which I created last week. It's called Customer Area, and in this Customer Area you can access some of the frequently asked questions about Cross-Stitch Vienna accounts. You can access the main areas of interest for any customer. So if you become a customer of Cross-Stitch Vienna, you get access to customer-only products and customer-only articles. So now that's all of these links are collected on one page for you if you are interested. And there is also one part of the customer area which I think would be of most interest to you. It's my first step towards fulfilling the desire to create that brand community for Cross-Stitch Vienna. You know, I don't know if you know, like maybe you've observed this, that I'm not really present in a lot of the public or closed cross-stitch groups on Reddit, on Facebook. I don't really have the time, and also I just never liked this. I know this is how you make business, but I just don't like to go into these groups, post my stuff and then leave. Like, I really like to have conversations with people, probably because I was born in 89 and I love chat rooms. I like connecting with people. I like asking questions, meeting new people online, which is shocking because actually I'm not the most social person in real life, but online, when it's on my terms, I like to connect. And especially if it's about cross-stitch, like I want to exchange ideas and information and tips on cross-stitching with other people. And I just don't feel like I have the space for that right now. Plus, if it's my space, if it's a space that I created, then the people that bought from me that like my charts, that they can come together. Right now, there isn't really a space for that anywhere. So the prerequisite for it is the community quest. So I created a new page on Cross-Stitch Vienna in the customer area where you can see the current active quests. So this is for people that want to do more than just buy and lurk. So if you want to be more active, if you want some exclusive products, if you want access to a higher tier that's coming up also for Cross-Stitch Vienna, then this is how you will get in. It's not going to be offered as something you can purchase, because I learned that memberships, the traditional membership style, they stress me out. I know that people ask for them. I did have some memberships on Coffee for Cross-Stitch Vienna, I think in the 2nd or 3rd year of Cross-Stitch Vienna. Now we are in the 4th year. And I remember just feeling like I wasn't giving it my best. Like, I didn't feel like I was designing good charts. I felt stressed about designing them, and I just did not like what was coming out. Sometimes I did not feel like the charts were what I envisioned for them to be. They were a bit rushed. So I want to just do it on my terms and still offer some benefits, but I don't. I want people to be excited to join this community, and I want them to feel like they are not just buying from me, but also there's some sort of like exchange of experiences going on. So I have some projects coming up, and I would like to really like just embed Cross-Stitch Vienna in the international cross-stitch community and become a reference for people wanting to find physical cross-stitch stores, or people wanting to find cross-stitch designers from Europe. We all know that the creepy cross-stitch, the Gothic cross-stitch, the more darker cross-stitch scene is way more mature in America, in Canada, in the US, in Canada. And I would like to have that in Europe as well, because there are people interested in this theme. And we also have so many amazing creators here in Europe that just somehow don't get the visibility. You know, that Creepy Cross-Stitch Collective was supposed to be that. I had to put it on pause right now, but it's going to come up in a different format. And with a different goal, like more collaborative goal, because I think that passive participation is just not going to do anything for the rest of us. I think that it needs to be like, if you're joining, you need to be ready to give and not just take. So that's my feeling. For Cross-Stitch Vienna, the first step for the new community would be participating in the challenges. There is a challenge right now, which will be running until end of November. And even if you don't win it, there will be a reward for participating. So stay tuned. If you feel like you want a bit more for Cross-Stitch Vienna, then that's the way to get that. I'm not saying anything more. By the way, if you're a customer, you received a new onboarding email. This is something I talked about in the last video, that I felt that people that were joining Cross-Stitch Vienna probably did not have a good overview of what they were getting in exchange for buying from the store. So now you get a welcome email that lists all the links that you can access once you log in. So the customer-only products, the freebies, the customer area, also how to sign up to the monthly newsletter, the customer-only newsletter. It will be going out regularly, because that was not clear. And you can contact me anytime if you have any feedback, or you want to see something more, see something that you haven't found yet on the website. I'm ready to act on this feedback if you send it to me. Last but not least, one of the other goals for Cross-Stitch Vienna is that it also supports other creators, cross-stitch creators, or stores. And I'm very pleased to tell you that last week I announced 2 partners. I have now officially launched the affiliate program, which is people referring customers to Cross-Stitch Vienna and earning commission. So I'm not going to share the details because the program is invitation only, but I checked commission amounts all over different services, and I settled on something that I felt was really fair and much higher than what you see around, because I think that people should be rewarded fairly for showing support, for engaging, for doing more than the bare minimum. Like I really appreciate every single person that reaches out to me and talks to me. I feel that this really brings out the feeling of community. And I really, really am excited about opening the program more to people based in Europe and maybe other parts of the world. So the first partner that I announced is Anja Lampert, who has now become the official supplier of Cross-Stitch Vienna. Anja is a lovely person whom I met in person. She was actually here in my flat. She was sitting right next to me. We were discussing how to launch the program, how to make it interesting for you, and also just how to go about the promotion. So I'm very, very pleased that she agreed to become an official partner of Cross-Stitch Vienna. What it means is that I recommend Anja's store on my product pages. Anja also sells Olympus Threads individual, but also the Garden Party sets, which are sets now 19 different cards with 10 colors per card. And Anja, in fact, gifted me one of the sets when we met the first time. And I created a dedicated chart, the Magic Brew chart, to test the threads. And I like them very much, but I did not release the chart ever because it's not my style. Like, it's too... I just didn't feel like it would fit with the Cross-Stitch Vienna aesthetic, so I just put it in the drawer, and that was it. But recently, when we were talking about the partnerships, I felt like, you know what, it would be nice to actually bring it back, because the sets are they're delightful, they're beautiful. So what I did is I recolored the chart into the remaining 18 colorways that the Garden Party Olympus Threads come in. And now if you buy one of these sets or more sets from Anja, you will get access to the freebie, which is the 19 colorways Magic Brew chart. So if you check if Anja ships to your country, order from her, and then you will get access to these charts as a bonus. And then the second partner that I announced, literally no one was surprised, honestly. Me and Susie are like this best friends. Practically the same person, some could say. You know, me and GothStitch, Susie, we are really supportive of each other, and I consider her a mentor. She's so experienced, she's so fun, and she's so kind. So we've been just bouncing some ideas off, and it just felt natural to me that I invite her to be the first American affiliate of Cross-Stitch Vienna, and she happily accepted. And a lot of ideas and collaborations are coming up, between me and Susie. So the spontaneously created 50% off for the Goblin mode is one of the results of us just always hanging out together. She just, as a joke, made a code, Aneta is famous, which gives you 50% off the Goblin mode chart if you want to use it. I will put it in the description. It's just really fun to have someone that is just so ready and supportive to do some stuff together. That's what makes Cross-Stitch fun, honestly. So yeah, Anja Lampert, GothStitch, 2 new partners, Wintertagtraum, have to mention Nora. She's also been a partner of my official product partner for the Mythical Fernflower, and she also will be a partner for some upcoming charts and colorways. If you want to try some hand-dyed threads from Europe, then you should definitely hit up wintertagtraum.at store. There are not many European dyers, so I'm very pleased that I have someone that's based in Austria that I can collaborate with. And the threads are really, really beautiful, amazing quality. Nora is so open to ideas, and it's a pleasure to work with her. So the partner page will probably grow gradually as I meet more people, as I collaborate with more people. Now I have more time to think about these things and more time to grow Cross-Stitch Vienna in the direction that I wanted to grow. You know, this is not I keep saying, because I do talk about this stuff openly. Cross-Stitch Vienna is my passion project. It's not my full-time job. I have my own job on the side, and I'm also a consultant. Oh, by the way, I'm starting a new job soon, so I will have to divide my time a little bit better, but now with the thesis done and with some other projects closed, I can relax a bit more and stitch, because I was missing that in the last 2 weeks. So not next week, but the week after, I will get a break. And I honestly look forward to you seeing what I am coming up with for Cross-Stitch Vienna. I think that if you are looking for a community to talk to people, to exchange experiences, I think you should really pay attention to what I'm coming with. It sounds really... I know that I am blowing my own trumpet, but this is the intention that I have, to be a platform for people to meet. So this definitely recorded. I'm going to finish my coffee and then edit this, so you will get this video on a Sunday. And yeah, that's it, honestly. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you have any feedback, if you have any complaints, and my email is always open, my comments are always open. Do your thing. I hope you're gonna have a lovely Sunday, and that you will get to stitch a little bit, enjoy that. I will definitely be jealous of you stitching, because I don't have the time right now. But yeah. Thanks for watching once again. Thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate every single one of you. I honestly love what I found here on YouTube. The people are so engaged. I don't know why it's different than on Instagram. Instagram feels like a dumpster fire right now, honestly. But yeah, I really, really appreciate you. And I know every single one of you, I feel like, especially the names that keep coming up, like I feel closer to you somehow. Is that creepy? Probably. So have a great Sunday and see you next week.